I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars online just with a personal brand only here on my YouTube channel and also on my Instagram. And then I've also made hundreds of thousands top line in the last couple months doing something new in the e-commerce space, selling products online. And that's about $40,000 profit, but for only doing it the last couple months, it's awesome. And I'm brand new to it, right? I've made content online for a couple years, but I haven't done e-commerce before. I've always done consulting services and whatnot. But what I'm going to talk about in this video is how you can actually build these digital assets, build this personal brand, build these accounts, build this content, build these, even now getting into e-commerce, stores and selling and brands and all that stuff. And so once again, the e-commerce part is newer, but all the other stuff, I've made hundreds of thousands online in the last 5 years. So I'm going to talk about it all because I think we are entering into this new era, and God gave me the word of help men build assets, right? That is the message that I got. So I'm doing the best that I can with taking my knowledge of building these digital assets, the personal brand, the content, the online brand stuff that I'm getting into now with physical products. But it's building these online assets, these digital assets that can provide for you while you're not working, right? So my background, my experience in the last couple of years, in the last 5 years of online business, 22, getting close to 23, and I feel so old. And started when I was 18, right? Had 2 jobs in high school, quit both of those jobs when I was 18, and was like, I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to work for anybody else. I'm going to do it all on my own, going to figure it out, and it'll work out. And it did work out, and it's still working out, but I've done different things, right? So I've done the social media marketing for other people. I've done the marketing consulting. I've done the ads for myself, for teaching others how to do ads. I've done content for myself. I've taught others how to do content. I've gotten millions, tens of millions of views organically for myself and for clients in the past. I have spent personally over $70,000 on advertising between TikTok ads and Facebook, Meta, Instagram ads, right? So I've done all these different things. I've built these many different things. And sorry if I'm clearing my throat or my voice is a little fogged up. I got sick like a week ago. I get sick like once every year or two. And anyways, it was due time to be sick. So been getting my voice back over the last couple of days. But I really wanted to talk about this message because I think it's so important for men in general, but specifically young men, to build these digital assets right now. And it doesn't matter which one they are. I'm going to talk about a couple different ones. I'm also going to talk about what I think is the best opportunity right now, the easiest way to build a digital asset and start making money from it. I'm going to talk about that at the end, but I want to cover a different ones because there's different avenues, right? And like I said, I've been down half of them. I haven't been through all of them, but I've been through half of them, and I'm here to share what I know from this, right? And I've made videos on this account. Like, this is my personal brand account, YouTube, that I've used in the past to get clients and whatnot for other business stuff that I'm doing. But now I'm turning it into a place where I am just sharing my knowledge, and it is not an income source for me any longer. It may be in the future, it may not be, who knows, but now it's just a place for me to start building my personal brand even further, right? A digital asset. It's a place for me to build my personal brand even further and just help other people along the way, share my story, share what works, share the lessons from all that stuff. So if you fit that bill, you're in the right place. So let's dive into it a little bit, right? So kind of like I was talking about, personal brand. So if you have, that is, I think, a very easy way to get started, and also because you can literally just do it for free. I know you've heard this a million times, but you can do it for free with content. It's so easy. And then if you want to supercharge it, get that up a little bit faster, it's really easy to just spend some money on ads, run the Instagram follow ads, build your Instagram up with organic content, have some valuable stuff on there, teach some people some things, have a niche, say, I help this person accomplish this thing. It's really easy. And then make some content surrounding that, and then make some ads that are literally as simple as that, and or just boost your best performing content and just boost them and run them as ads, and start getting people to there, start having conversations in the DMs, start selling people on your services, on your coaching, on your, whatever skills you have, right? Whatever skills you have. And if you don't have skills yet, go out and learn skills. Go out and do door-to-door sales. Go out and start running ads for local companies for free and learn the skill of marketing and running ads and doing that stuff, right? So this message is for you if you're kind of brand new to making money online, but it might be one or two steps ahead of that, but it's still going to be relevant to you. So that's what you need to do first, is you need to have something to monetize. But even if you don't have those like major skills, right, like marketing or sales or whatever, you still have knowledge around something, right? For example, my first business is one of my first business was actually I started two businesses from it off of a hobby that I had. So I started doing taking care, having saltwater fish tanks with saltwater fish and coral, like from the ocean and stuff like that. I started that when I was 12, and I did that up until about 20, I think, was when I sold everything. And then, because I knew I was moving across the country, and I was like, I'm not going to bring this with me, so I had to sell everything, unfortunately. But in that time, I had 8 years in the hobby, and I made two businesses off of it. First one was coral, so I would like grow coral. I would go to wholesalers. I would buy a bunch of coral, and then we would chop it up, which is called like fragging, right? We'd make smaller coral, make sure they heal, make sure they're doing good, grow them out a little bit, and then sell them to people, right? So we had like a bunch of giant fish tanks full of coral and all this stuff. So I did that. I sold coral, and then I also took care of people's fish tanks. So typically it's, like wealthier people who had money. So I turned that into two different businesses at the time. And that was a skill that I had, something that I had been doing for years, right? Since I was 12. I think I started that when I was 17 or 18. And I did that for, 2 years, I think, a year or two. And that's was one of my first, I was self-employed, and then I was also doing that. It was like my first business's first way of starting to make money, right? And so I just took a skill that I already had. It was saltwater fish tanks and coral. It was just knowledge that I already had from something that I loved, a hobby, right? So if you have a sport that you're really good at, and you're not going to go pro, but you're really good at it, start doing coaching, start advertising yourself as a sports coach, right? It's just take what you already have skills wise. So you can, like I said, learn those like major business skills like marketing, like sales, like all that stuff. But also just take the knowledge that you already have and find a way to make money off of that first. And then while you do that, you start learning business, you start learning these things. So, and then you start learning those like major skills of marketing, sales, etc. So now, that is your personal brand. So that is going to be pretty much like the easiest way to really take off quickly with starting to make money online, starting to make your first, couple dollars as a business. So that's a little bit more for like the beginners. And or if you're a few steps ahead of beginner, you already have some experience, you already have some whatnot, build that personal brand. Do what I told you in the beginning with the Instagram, with the content, and with the ads. It's so easy, guys. It's so easy. And so all you have to do here is start making a personal brand, right? And then this is exactly what I did. I'm just giving you the playbook. I'm just telling you all the things that I've done from making hundreds of thousands online. I'm just sharing everything that I did, sharing with you what works so you can avoid what doesn't work. And then Once you get to a certain point with the Instagram, start using YouTube and utilizing that as well to start nurturing those people that you're bringing into your Instagram, your leads, right? Start nurturing them with long form content. And then it's going to be really easy to get them to buy your services, your coaching, your program, your whatever it is that you're selling, right? So that's super easy. Also, if you're running like a local business, like a local service business, like lawn services or something like that, just run local ads. Do the same thing. Build a personal brand, build organic content, and then just run ads to the personal brand, to the Instagram page. Like, it's so freaking easy, right? I'm helping one of my friends from church. He's a loan officer, so he does mortgages, and I helped him do that, right? And he spent a couple $100 on it. He spent like $400 on ads, and he already has like a handful of deals coming in already. It's going to make him thousands of dollars. So it's really, really easy, right? For something even as quote unquote boring and mundane as lending, as lending for real estate deals. It's still so good because he has a good personal brand. So I've made videos on here talking about personal branding, so you can dive into that more. But that's the whatever that is, 5 minutes, however long I've been talking, 5 minutes on personal branding. Okay. Now, that is a digital asset that will continue to provide for you for as long as you're posting content. Even after you stop posting content, people still watch it. That's the cool part, right? Now, the personal branding content kind of go hand in hand. And as I continue growing this brand around that message, that I don't want to say advice, but God said kind of like, hey, follow this path. So as long as I choose to obey that path, the teaching young men to build digital assets is the path that I'm going to be going down. Okay. So with that, personal branding to sell services, coaching, products, doing content, making content that sells for you. Once again, services, coaching, products, super easy. And then that's going to tie into the thing at the end that I'm going to talk about that I think is the easiest way to get into it. And then you can also think about starting a digital asset. Like one of my friends right now is just starting to get into e-commerce, into like typical what you hear with e-commerce with like drop shipping, right? So the thing is though, is that it's taking him a bit of upfront capital, right? It's taking him, I don't even know, a couple $1,000s now at least. And that's where he's getting his start in that with drop shipping. And that's doing really well for him. That's going to build, once he finds something that works really well and clicks really well, he's going to build a really big brand off of that. And that brand is going to be a digital asset for him, right? Because that is a asset that lives on the internet that continues to pay him all the time, right? So that's something, once again, I'm not going to talk too much about that because there's a lot of stuff online about that, and I don't know that world, so I'm not going to talk about that. I'm only going to talk about the things that I know and that I have experience with, but I have a little bit of secondhand experience from seeing him go through that journey and seeing other friends of mine go through that journey. Now, the big kind of things that I'm looking at right now in regards to digital assets for me, because that is something building a brand for like physical products is something that I probably will ultimately get into as well. I'm just not at that point right now, but that is something that I am keeping on my radar and will probably be getting into sometime soon. Now, the final thing, which I think is and there's many more things than digital assets than just personal brand and e-commerce dropshipping brand. And then this last thing that I'm going to talk about, but these are just the things that I'm focused on. These are things that I have experience with. Posting content is kind of under personal brand, but posting content is also a digital assets. And these are just the things that I have personal experience with and that I'm going to continue pursuing. So I'm just talking about what I'm doing right now, what I'm going to be doing in the future, and what I have past experience with. So, yes, there are more digital assets that I could talk about. Now, but I don't want to talk about things I don't have experience with. So then the kind of final thing right now, realistically, I think the easiest way to build digital assets right now, and the easiest digital asset to build, building up a little suspense for you there, is TikTok Shop right now. TikTok Shop is literally the easiest money I have ever made online. Like when I'm telling you, for the last couple months, I've been working an hour a day at it. Maybe every once in a while, I'll have like a 2-hour day, but realistically, I'll work like 3 hours on one day on it, and then I won't work on it the next, 2-3 days. So it'll be an hour a day, equal it out to. So for realistically to do that, to do an hour a day and consistently pull 7 to 8K months off of that for the last few months has been absolutely insane. 1 hour a day to make, that would equal out to, like I said, I've only been doing it for the last few months, and it's only going to go up from here. But that's what, 7 is 84, and then 8 is 96. So to make, over a year period, working an hour a day to make 80 to almost $100,000 a year, that's insane, right? And like I said, I still do other stuff. I still have consulting clients. I still have all that other stuff too. But for me to spend an hour a day on TikTok Shop and make that money is ridiculous. So like I said, I've done all these different ways of making money online. I've done consulting. I've done for you stuff. I've done personal branding. I've done all of these different things. And for something to be this easy is kind of ridiculous. So I did want to touch on that, and I did want to talk about that because I do think it's a huge opportunity. And what's going to happen is this has created an entire new sector of the marketplace of e-commerce, and it's just going to continue to get bigger, right? So what's going to happen is, if you remember a couple of years ago, Instagram had Instagram Shop that came out, and it wasn't really a hit. It wasn't really a success. And that's because people don't go on these social platforms to be sold to. That's why people don't like ads, right? People love to buy things, but they don't want to be sold to. So it kind of didn't work because they didn't do it well. Now, TikTok did it really well because they built up a platform based on, a really good algorithm. And then they were like, hey, our creators can now make content for products that they love, and you can buy it on TikTok here, just like you would buy something on Amazon, right? Like one-click checkouts, like that kind of a thing. So they made the buying process really streamlined and really easy. So Instagram did that too, but Instagram didn't have an affiliate thing, right? So that's what made TikTok so big. That's what made it blow up, is because TikTok creators could get on there and tag a product with affiliate marketing, right? They could tag a product in their video, and you just click, if someone's watching your video and you just click on that, it'll take you right to the page on TikTok natively. You're not going to an outside website, right? So it's on TikTok, and it's a one-click checkout, and it's done. Like, it's so well done. And for the last 2, maybe getting close to 3 months now, but I think closer to 2, I have seen a lot of beta testing on YouTube for YouTube Shop with having affiliate links in YouTube Shorts, and affiliate links have kind of started to be integrated in the last year or so into YouTube videos themselves, into long form. So you're having this crazy shift, and Instagram announced the other day too, they sent an email out to people and they were saying, our Instagram Shop affiliate will be out soon. So you're having this massive shift in the industry, where instead of people running ads to products on these accounts, on these platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, what you're having instead is you're having people, creators, because people don't want to be sold to, but people love to buy. And people also love to buy from people they know, like, and trust. And people also want to buy from people, not businesses. So what happens is that you have created this entire new industry where it's that peer-to-peer selling. It's almost like with the affiliates, it's like, yeah, you're buying from this brand, but realistically, you're buying from the person in the video that created the video that made you want to buy the product. So even though you're buying from the brand, you bought because of the person in the video that connected with you and made you want to buy, right? So this is going to create a lot of this is going to create a lot of millionaires. This is going to create a few billionaires. This wave of social media e-commerce is going to be wild. And so I really think right now the best digital assets that you can build, like literally right now, not meaning like in the future upcoming here, but literally today, is TikTok Shop. Strictly because you make these videos and I have videos that I posted, a month, 2 months ago that are still making sales for me today because they're still getting views organically, right? So I'm making like $300 to $400 a day. I got sick and I took a couple days off, but I didn't post because I couldn't film. I didn't have a voice, so I didn't post for like close to a week and a half, definitely over a week, like 8-9 days, something like that. And I was still making $300 to $400 a day, and I wasn't doing anything, right? So it's crazy because I had built those digital assets up. I had filled them with content. I created content. I created affiliate content, created TikTok Shop content, right? And you're going to have the exact same thing, because think about it. When you go and when it gets on YouTube, it's going to be insane, because you go to YouTube to what? To be, well, at least for me and most people I know, we go there to be educated. You don't really go there to be entertained. For TikTok, you go there to be entertained. Then you kind of get sidetracked. Oh, this is a cool product, or oh, this is a cool thing, or you get wrapped up in this video and it's tied to this product and you're like, oh yeah, I'll buy the product, right? But we literally have intent on YouTube. When I go to buy something, if I go to buy, whatever it is, clothes, gun stuff, tactical gear, whenever I go to buy that, guess what? I go to YouTube to watch at least one review first. If it's like something that's, significant, if it's a couple bucks, then I'll just buy it. But so there is already intent there on YouTube. So when you have this intent on YouTube coupled with this YouTube Shop affiliate and this whole new marketplace of social media e-commerce, it's going to be absolutely insane. And so if you can start building these digital assets, building this content, like I said, you don't have to build a personal brand and an e-commerce store, and that, like, just if you're just getting started, get started with something. If you already have something, build a personal brand, right? So it's building these digital assets that will continue to provide for you for the long term. So the personal brand that I'm building right now, my focus before was building the personal brand to nurture my Instagram leads, to nurture them with long form content on YouTube, and then get them to buy the program that I had at that point in time in a previous business that I was running, helping fitness and health coaches grow their online business. And so I have a bunch of content on here that's just privated. That's old videos that is just privated. That is content for online fitness and health coaches, right? Now, and I could have started a new YouTube, but I was like, whatever. That's getting into technicalities. So I just decided to continue posting on here, and just doing that, just going big with it, saying, God, what am I doing? What do you want me to do with my personal brand? Who am I talking to? Who am I helping? What is my mission, right? And God was just like, help young men build digital assets. And I was like, great. I've built personal brands. I've spent a bunch of money on ads. I've built online businesses. I've done TikTok Shop, starting to get into e-commerce stuff specifically with TikTok Shop, but in the near future, right? So it's like, now that's just my mission, is to make videos about all of this different stuff, about building different digital assets online so that you can provide for your family, so that you can escape the matrix, so you can live a life of freedom, right? I moved across the entire country. I moved from California to Florida because I can. Because I'm online, because I can go wherever I want, right? Don't have to ask people for days off. I don't have to clock into work. I don't have to do all that because I built digital assets that continue to provide for me and that will continue to compound and that will continue to grow. So now you need to determine what is the best digital asset for you to build right now. So if you're already, like I said, you already have a skill, you already have a service-based business, you already do some coaching, you already share your knowledge in some way, right? You're like a tutor or a sports coach or a, something like that. Like you have knowledge and skills around something. Build your personal brand and start selling products, services, coaching, that sort of thing. Run ads to it, do it organically, do that. But if you're like starting and you're like, I don't really know what to do, and I'm kind of just getting started with making money online, do TikTok Shop. I really think it's the easiest thing to do right now. So that's kind of my 2 recommendations based on where you're at right now. Those are the 2 things I'm also focused on right now. Yeah, don't miss opportunities, guys. So this whole new sector of the market of e-commerce, of selling products online, but integrated with social media platforms, having their own stores and having affiliate, and you earn commission off of that. It's the Wild West right now. It's crazy. It's the gold rush. It's the Wild West. So that is what I would recommend to you based on someone who has done all the things that I told you I did. So build digital assets. We'll see you on the next one. Go crush it.